3 down and 14 to go. We might be 0-3 right now, but hey, that doesn't mean we can't still go 14-3. And what a great game the Lions put on display this last game against the Baltimore Ravens at home. Unfortunately, it did not go our way. Justin Tucker was able to make that amazing kick at the end of the game, to put us in the hole there. It's a record-setting kick of 66 yards, and all you can do is just take your hat off and say, wow. But yeah, the Lions did a lot better in that game than I was expecting, especially from a defensive standpoint. We were able to contain Lamar Jackson for the most part. They didn't run too crazy on us. And I mean, the Ravens did miss some plays downfield, but that's neither here nor there. But, we still got 14 games to go, and let's see if the Lions can finally, put that effort in like we saw last week. I felt they put in a good 4 quarters. Let's see if they can put that kind of effort in again and, get the W this time. This next opponent, we got those Chicago Bears, and we're going to them. Definitely Chicago is not one of the better places record-wise. We don't do as well there, but even when we've been great and the Bears have, been struggling, they typically give us troubles, particularly when we're playing them. As for this matchup, I think the Lions need to go in with the same game plan. We definitely want to. Well, then again, it does depend on who they're going to have at quarterback. I'm not sure if it's going to be Dalton, if it's going to be Nick Foles, or if it's going to be Justin Fields. So it's definitely one of those you have to consider since they haven't named their starter. I'm going to go on a limb and say Fields starts again unless Dalton's healthy enough. But if Fields is in, I think you want to see the same kind of game plan like we had against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. You want to keep the quarterback contained in the pocket and, try and force them not to go downfield. And at the same time, you want to try and apply some pressure so you can force their hand and, getting that ball out so they don't have all day back there, for a guy to get open. For the most part, I think that's something that the game plan, you can take some of the things you did in this game, and hopefully, these guys are still playing with great energy. And from the offensive standpoint, last week the Lions, they started off pretty slow. I think we had trouble, catching up on the blitz that the Ravens were bringing. So hopefully we can do a better job, catching on to that stuff early on, so we can get some points in the first halves of the game. And the same deal, you don't want to have it to where you're scoring and then it gets late and then you start struggling there, because we've had that, with the San Fran game, for example, or even the Green Bay game, where you started off strong offensively and, kind of fizzled out in that second half, and then it was vice versa with the 49ers. They got their points, they got some stuff, they weren't doing too much early, but then, they came on strong late. We just need to put together a full game, not just defensively like we had last week, but offensively as well. And if they're able to do that and contain Fields or whoever's at quarterback and apply that pressure, I think they could have a chance in this game. Now, on the flip side, offensively for the Lions, I think, what we saw last week, I think you want to try and be able to establish the run. I think that's when this offense, operates at its best. So running the ball with Swift and our other boys back there, because we've got some decent backs, and, maybe do some stuff with the tight ends. And offensive line, has been pretty good for the Lions thus far. I like what I'm seeing, so that we're definitely pretty strong there. Defensive wise, I think we're struggling a little bit at linebacker, especially in coverage, but it's neither here nor there. If we can get there with the pressure, what I'm saying, it will definitely take some pressure off of those guys there in the back end. But as far as who I have winning this game, I think it's definitely one of the. I think this is going to be a close game. I don't think it's like last week. I thought the Ravens would blow us out. I think this will be a closer game, especially if our defense is able to, show up and play like that. Unlike they did in the first 2 weeks, because I think they definitely showed they can be exploited. But it really does depend on if we can apply some pressure up front. But I think this will be a close game. I do actually have the Lions and Bears splitting, and, given that this game is in Chicago, I think I'm going to take the Bears here in a three score to 7 points. But I think it's going to be very close. I would not be surprised if the Lions come out and win this one, but it also does depend on what the Bears are trying to do offensively with Matt Nagy, because I think the game plan the Bears had last week was definitely a little bit suspect for who you have at quarterback. I think they should have been, did some more designed runs and stuff instead of having him sit back in the pocket all day like that. So it really does depend on how they try and call the game. But like I said, I could see the Lions winning this one, but I just have the Bears edging it out in a nail biter. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'd love to see the Lions win in Chicago, but like I said, that's definitely one of the places we struggle to play in. But just in the division as a whole, I'm hopefully with this whole regime the Lions have got going, we can kind of turn that script around and start giving these guys in our division some of that money. But we'll see what happens. I got the Bears in a close one. Let me know your thoughts, Lions fans, Bears fans. What do you think is going to happen in this game? What do you like what you're seeing, and what do you see going forward in the future? Not only this season, but the seasons to come. But we'll see what happens, and go Lions.